Hello, Unlockers. This week I want to talk to you about why recalling stories about people receiving help can be one of the most effective gratitude practices, and it is backed by science. So, gratitude can be an amazing self-care tool. I'm sure we've heard of many of the numerous benefits. It can reduce anxiety and it can help your mental health. It can make you more mindful. It can reduce physical inflammation. It can help you with your heart health. And it can also help fight the negativity bias, which I'm sure that we've all struggled with. But unfortunately, gratitude practices can be quite tricky for ADHDers. They require us to be consistent to start with, but then also it can make us feel like we have to mask or hide the fact that we're actually having a really rubbish time. And I've talked to some ADHDers recently who've said that they don't want to be sort of trying to flip or reframe the negative things that have been happening in their day because it just feels fake, which is fair enough. And actually it's been proven that this technique that I'm going to tell you about can be way more effective and has been proven scientifically in studies to be more effective in making us feel those positive feelings of gratitude than writing down three things that you're grateful for at the end of each day. So how do we do it then? So this technique is borrowed from the Huberman Lab podcast. So if you want more information about it, please do go and look at their episode, which is called The Science of Gratitude and How to Build a Gratitude Practice. But this is the basic skeleton of how to do it. So you want to recall in your mind a time or just in your own life or a story that you've heard or maybe something you've observed where there is a challenge, a resolution, and then gratitude being exchanged between two parties. It could maybe be a time when someone was grateful to you for something that you did for them. It could be maybe just a story that you heard and found inspiring. It might be a viral video that you've seen on TikTok of like an animal saving another animal, or maybe somebody saving like an animal that they found on the side of the road and then nursing them back to health. It might be something that you've read on the Made Me Smile subreddit, which I know one of our unlockers recommended to us this week in the meetup. So the only thing that you need is for it to be meaningful to you and for it to have made you smile or made you feel grateful. So I'll give you an example from my own life of something that came up when I kind of asked myself this question, just to kind of help you think of your own. So one day, like a few weeks ago, I went to IKEA and I had just gone through the checkout and I'd bought a bunch of stuff and my trolley was all stacked up with all these kind of heavy furniture items. And I went through the checkout, paid for my things, and then realised that kind of horrible ADHD moment. I don't know where my car keys are. I have lost them. And I was looking around and trying to like find where they were, just like, oh, sorry, ADHD alarm. I was looking around, kind of looking underneath things, just desperately like trying to figure out where it was, but with absolutely no idea when the last time I saw them was. And then just while I was kind of standing there panicking, this really gentle, kind old man came up to me and just said, "Have you lost something? Can I help you?" And like the relief that kind of came over me, I was like, oh, okay, now I'm not on my own. And then he started looking with me around the kind of lobby in IKEA, looking for the keys, and we still couldn't find them. And then he said, I tell you what, you should go over to that lady over there in the customer service desk, because I bet she could like radio the staff to let them know and ask them to help you find them. And I was like, that is such a good idea. Why didn't I? Oh, thank you for like helping me. And then I went over to this lady and she radioed all the staff, and within about 2 minutes this gentleman turned up with my keys and handed them to me, and like the relief that I felt just like washed over me like this like positive wave. It was like super beautiful, and it's like lovely to now like remember the impact that one person had on me, and the chain of positive events that flowed after that. And I went back up to him afterwards and he said, "You found your keys, didn't you?" And I was like, yes I did, thank you so much for like being there for me. I had no idea what to do in that moment, and you just like showed up like this angel. So that's my little gratitude story that I've been thinking of recently, and having now recounted that to you, I'm already like feeling really calm and like really positive and just very, very grateful that human beings and kindness exist in the world. So how often do you need to do this gratitude practice? Only 1 minute, 3 times a week will deliver benefits. Obviously, the more that you do it, the better. But only 1 minute, 3 times a week, that actually probably sounds a lot more doable than most gratitude routines that have been suggested. So that's the frequency. There's also no need to recall like as much detail as I just did in my example, so long as you like get the highlights. So the situation before the expression of gratitude, the feelings after the receiving the gratitude or giving the gratitude, and then any other kind of elements that add emotional content to the story. So like how panicky you were before when you realised you'd lost the keys, or like the relief that you felt when you saw the keys, or then thinking about, you know, the expression on the face of the person who helped you, for example, in the example that I gave. So that's how to build this storytelling gratitude practice that is backed by science, shown to be one of the most effective ways of feeling gratitude. So please do let us know if this has worked for you. Have a think about what you're grateful for, but in that storytelling setting, or maybe go out online and try and find some nice inspiring stories that kind of restore your faith in humanity, and please do share them with us in the Facebook and WhatsApp group as well. We'd love to hear from you. So good luck and practice gratitude, folks. It really does help.